Welcome back to the Common Guru. I'm Jax, and today we're going to look at question number 5 in our New Year, New Way question series. Do you know how hard this question was for me? It's do you avoid people deliberately and why? I've been avoiding this recording. I am the poster child for avoidance. And it's funny though, because if you get to know me a little bit better, you're going to find that I can be quite a confrontational person. And I've had to work on that, but I felt like I was very polar in my approach. I was either in your face and wanted to talk to you about it, or I would just like skulk away and just avoid people. I've had a long relationship with avoidance. And it's been in my life as a silent partner for many, many years. When I was younger, I used to avoid people because I was insecure and I felt that they didn't like me. And because of my insecurities and my awkwardness, when I tried to talk to people, it would be weird and awkward. So that would just add to the alienation that I felt. My extended family, I always felt that I was the black sheep and that I didn't belong. And that was awkward and uncomfortable. My mother and I have had some real doozy arguments, and not just the ones that you just fight and then make up afterwards. There's a grand total of about 5 years that we didn't speak to each other. In fact, our relationship was so dysfunctional at one time that I went and eloped, and she didn't find out. And I went back to the hometown and went to visit her, and I had a ring on my finger, and that was the only time that she knew that I was married, was 5 months after the fact. So avoidance was I would say it was my modus operandi. It was the way I operated with difficult situations. My dad and I have a very dysfunctional, broken relationship. He has suffered with mental illness for a very long time, and that has come out in violence and very strange mood swings. And because of that, we had a conversation one time that went sour, and he came over to my place and behaved really badly in front of my boys, and it frightened them. And I made the conscious decision at that time to cut him out of my life. And I don't know if that was the right choice or not, because the premise of my thinking at that time was, well, you can't explain mental illness, and it's very difficult for children to understand when someone is behaving really badly. And I really didn't know how to explain it to them as well, because I was traumatized by it. I still had a lot of emotional triggers that went off whenever he was in my presence. I tried to have a somewhat relationship with him, but our time together was very awkward and stilted. And so I just made the decision, and we had a altercation, and I asked him to leave my life, and there was 10 years where I didn't talk to him. And the silence was finally broken about 3 years ago, when his mental illness basically caught up with him and he got quarantined into a hospital. And I thought that he was reaching out to my mom and myself as an olive branch, as in, well, I realize that, mortality has a way of doing that with people. They start to look at their life and decide that they may have done things differently, and that maybe I was hoping that he would want to recognize me as a daughter and that he would want to have a relationship with me. And that was not the case. He only wanted to have me there to try and get him out of the hospital. So 3 years have gone by since that time, and again, no contact from me. So I struggle with this non-contact with my dad, because there's such pressure as a child when there's a dysfunctional relationship with a parent, that somehow it's on you that you have to reconcile and make the attempts. And there's incredible pressure for me. And it's difficult because my dad is broken and he doesn't show any signs of wanting a relationship. And I struggle. I really don't know what to do. I haven't wanted to spend any time in his presence. We didn't have a time where you reflect back and go, there was a time when I was close with my dad, and we're not anymore. And so avoidance is still my modus operandi. I I just don't have anything to do with him. Now, my mom has gone back a couple times to visit with him, and he has done some incredible work for her by recognizing his portion of the failure of their marriage. My boys have gone now that they're 18 and 20. They've gone to see my dad, and they have a better understanding now of how people can act when they have a mental illness. And it's been difficult for them too, because the man that I grew up with and knew is not there, for he's starting to suffer from dementia. So I'll have to keep you posted on how this reconciliation with my dad goes. I have a family reunion in about 7 months that I have to go back to my hometown, and that's where he is, and I'll make that decision when I get there and how I feel. But right now I'm leaning towards going, but I'm not 100% sure if that's what I want to do. So another form of avoidance that I've used is with strangers. And that, again, I feel very polar, because some days I'll see someone, I'll look as I'm walking down the sidewalk, and I'll look them right in the eye and smile. Or if I'm at a cafe or a grocery store, I'm not lost in my phone and I don't want to talk to anybody. I'll engage with the cashier or engage with the people that are in the aisle with me or at the cafe, and I'll be very sociable and bubbly. My boys have always commented how I could talk to anybody, and the majority is that is my behavior. But sometimes, I just want to implode, and I don't want to have contact with the outside people. And my phone is awesome for that, because I just put my face down on my phone and get lost in that little world and tune out from the people around me. But when I sat there and looked at this question, are you deliberately avoiding someone? The most resounding answer that I got was avoiding myself. And I find that is the way of the world right now. And it's very frustrating for me, because a lot of our problems would be solved if we actually took a real good moral inventory of ourselves. And when you go to any 12-step program, that's actually one of the steps, is to take a moral inventory. And there's a reason for that, because without looking at ourselves and the mode of who we are and how we actually approach the world and the belief profile that we have behind the scenes, we don't know why we do what we do. And so avoidance for me was a huge one, for I did not want to look at where I was. And now I find it exciting, and I get strange looks from people like, why do you always have to analyze everything? Why is it always something that you got to look at within yourself? And because, frankly, it is. And once I started on this journey of looking at myself and understanding how I interact with the world, and the world is a reflection of myself, it's been an exciting journey. And I have incredible stories to tell, and it's been good. So I encourage you, if you are like the queen of avoidance or the king of avoidance, just like I used to be, you can stop, because it doesn't help. Now, there are time and place when you want to just have some quiet time to yourself. But if you make it that is where you do what you do all the time, you're doing yourself a disservice. There's a great world out there within yourself and with the people around you that you can interact and learn and grow. So I hope this question has served you as much as it's opened my eyes to how I used avoidance in almost every interaction that I had with people. And I look forward to hearing your comments on this, and you can share with me below or on my written version of this in my Steam It blog. And you can share with me on how this has impacted you or how you've related to it. Don't forget to check out our information down below in our description box, and you can see more exciting articles and stay in contact with the Common Guru. We'd love to hear from you. Have a great day. Bye, everyone.